You can never underestimate learning.
The continuous learning is the key.
Piece of advice.
Books are the place where you find all the insight. There were so many mentors in my life.
So why did you choose Ireland?
In Ireland, quantity surveyors are highly in demand. There are several routes. Maybe you got directly a work permit.
Difference in working culture between Dublin and Dubai. Which university do you recommend?
Quantity Surveyor, RICS. This is the final stage, or that's all I have to achieve in a life as a quantity surveyor?
Absolutely not.
Imagine if you move to another country. Is it going to help you there?
Virtually all the countries in the world.
The moment you know what to do, what you need to learn, what skill is important, you will find a way how. I would like you to share your journey. You were jobless maybe for 6 to 9 months.
1 year, all I needed was just one up.
Takeoff is not all about quantity surveying.
AI is a big topic.
Are you able to recall any question? Patrick, any question? Give some insights to the people.
I will ask you this question. I think it's better. So you're curious, so I'm going to ask you.
Can we cut this?
No, I'm going to ask.
Hello everyone, my name is Saady. Welcome back to another video. In this podcast, we are just going to have a casual talk. With me, Mr. Patrick is here. We'll just talk about some career insights, quantity surveying a little bit maybe, self-development, and you know what are the topics mostly I covered. So thank you so much, Patrick, first of all, for showing your availability for this podcast. It's a pleasure to have you again. We are missing our host today. She's not available, but we'll cover the topics. So how are you, Patrick? How's everything?
Yeah, I'm great. I'm great, Saady. Very good. It's always a pleasure to always be with you.
Yeah,
you know, doing things together, working together. I'm great, man. I feel fantastic, man. It's so many things that happened since the last time we had
True.
our last
So
podcast.
I think it's been 6 months when we had our last podcast, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Spot on.
Before we proceed, let me congratulate you in front of our audience for being a chartered RICS. So how was your journey before we begin and talk about anything else? How was your journey being a chartered quantity surveyor, RICS, and you struggle and then you study a lot and so many things. So how would you like to express or share your journey?
I mean, for me personally, I just know that the journey to the RICS is unique for each person. Mine was not an easy one, like I'm sure most people who are other persons. But there's a lot of study. There's a lot of seeking advice, seeking directions from your counselor, okay, and also from your peers and your colleagues, and even from senior colleagues. I mean, it was tough, but worthwhile.
True, no doubt about it. So, of course, I know in terms of income, but how the chartered status impacts your career as a quantity surveyor? Because if, as a young professional, if I look at, I should be a chartered. So, if I gain that status, how it can impact my career?
Personally, for me, it's giving me more confidence in my abilities. And also, I think it's also giving confidence in my employers that I can stand for myself. You know?
Do you find more opportunities?
Yeah, here and there.
Did you find the bonus?
Well, we'll see. See. Yeah, of course. I mean, you get some good salary increment. I mean, we're talking of the market. The market price, market range in terms of salary.
There's so many people who has this concern. Sorry to interrupt you, Patrick. You're a chartered RICS. I know how it really works. But as a young professional, if I look towards RICS status, imagine if you move to another country. Is it going to help you there?
Absolutely, yes, it would, because it's a global recognition, worldwide, practiced in virtually all the countries in the world. It's a globally recognized institution. So with that badge as a member of RICS, you can work in any country where the services of a quantity surveyor is needed. Yes.
That's good. Of course, there are so many questions that I would like to ask about chartership and your experience, but not many people are familiar. But if you allow me to ask, that how was your experience? You came all the way from Nigeria. And I know the initial struggle that you have done. I was there, luckily. So I know, and I'm so happy whatever you have achieved in few years. How long you been here, by the way? 3 years or 2?
3 years, almost
3 years.
4 years now.
So as I remember, you were jobless maybe for 6 to 9 months.
1 year.
Okay, so let's say 1 year you were jobless for 1 year, and then after a few years you gain the highest, I will say highest chartered, highest quantity surveying status. So where do you see yourself, or how would you like to describe this journey? Because I know so many people, they came here on a visit visa, and just after spending few weeks they are depressed, they are less motivated. So I would like you to share your journey coming from Nigeria, finding the job and all of
Yeah.
this. I'm sure people will find motivation in it.
Yeah, my journey is one was a very tough one for me personally, but the motivation always came from within because I'm a person who likes to set a very high standard for myself, and I try to attain it. So I spent 1 year in UAE before I got the job. It was difficult because I was trying to, I had no money.
I was there.
So I had to manage with some friends. I mean, slept on the floor.
Oh my God.
So it was tough. Yeah, you could say depressing, but somehow I just had within myself that all I needed was just one opportunity.
Just one opportunity.
One opportunity. And that came in the person of Simon Millman. He gave me the opportunity to be part of now Atkins Realis. And that was all I needed. So when I was going through those tough times, in my mind, I just kept on telling myself all I needed was just one opportunity.
Just one opportunity.
Just one opportunity. So I mean, when I think about it now, it's kind of emotional, but it tells you the kind of mindset I have, and it's also, I would like to encourage all those who come to the UAE, through the same process. 1 month, 2 months, don't be depressed, okay? Just keep building yourself, keep studying if you want to, keep applying, and then prepare yourself for just that one opportunity.
Sorry to interrupt you. I remember, I think that was your second interview after spending 1 year?
That was my that was my second interview.
Interview, and this was the biggest opportunity you have ever got when you were landed here. And that day, you didn't even have the internet. You mentioned that, Saady, I do not have the internet. And you went and you find some internet cafe outside.
Yeah.
And maybe it was so difficult.
Yeah, it was so difficult because I had the call the day before.
And sorry to interrupt you, another thing. He should supposed to attend the interview on Zoom, but you didn't have the internet that day. And he was on the road.
Yeah.
I think from the mobile you attended the interview.
The phone, it was just a phone call.
Exactly. So you're right when you said it's all about one opportunity. If you have the potential and if you are confident in yourself, the moment you got the opportunity, there you go.
Even after an opportunity, you can turn it into something great.
Exactly. So I always mention, even on my LinkedIn and different platform, everybody got the opportunity, but only the person who succeed, who's ready for it. So make sure you study hard, you walk, you get some skills and certification and whatever the possible things you can get it. Once you have the opportunity, it will take you to another level. So this is what Patrick did, and I'm so happy because I have seen his whole journey, and I remember whatever he has been through. So I'm so happy, Patrick, and proud. The day you informed me you're chartered, I was the first person who shared on LinkedIn. Congratulations, Patrick! I'm so happy.
I know. I mean, it's a wonderful thing. I mean, also thank you for being with me, being my friend, being a brother to me, and your motivation constant. It's also helped me, having someone like you, constantly trying to make myself better so I can also,
yeah, true.
help and, share knowledge and all. So, but what about you? You recently moved to Ireland now. So how is life going on for you? Enough about me now. Now it's your turn.
Yeah. Well, I spent a lot of time here in Dubai. So, of course, initially you find some challenges to settle there. Of course, the weather is one of the biggest challenges there.
Yeah.
So it's cold there. That's the thing. In summer we had like 8 to 10.
Oh, man,
so imagine that's
freezing
the summer.
over here,
that's the summer in Ireland. But yeah, it's good. I like the people. It's not like I didn't like the people in Dubai, but yeah, the people are very nice there. I love the weather. It's the environment is good. There are a lot of opportunities that I must mention. So overall, I love the place. I think this is the place that I always wanted.
Oh, okay, that's good. But so far, what have you achieved in your first 6 months of working?
Yeah, it's been 6 months. You got it. So I have achieved a lot. Firstly, I've make myself adjust there. That's the initial things that everybody should do. Complete the documentation and so many things. Find a place to live and work and all of these things. So I have achieved a lot. I find a good company where I can work. Okay, and it's well-reputed company. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
Most of the people who are following, they're
And
already following you on.
honestly, I'm so happy for you. Honestly, I mean, I don't know how to describe it. I told you, like, it's where you should be. It's a
Yeah,
good place for you.
exactly. I
So,
love the place because when I was studying, my journey, so many people are connected with me on LinkedIn since maybe 5 6 years. They know my journey
great.
and what I have studied, where I was working, all of these things. So this is the place that where I always wanted to work.
Yeah.
So I think it's all about your vision. You will be there. If
Yeah.
I can make it, all of you can do it.
Yeah, it's possible. And you don't need to don't underrate yourself. Just stay focused, stay positive, and just try to motivate yourself. If you can't motivate yourself, look for people to help you. Look
Exactly.
for senior colleagues or maybe your peers or your friends.
You know, so many people ask me, as it's just a casual talk. To be honest, we haven't prepared so many questions this time.
Yeah.
I just met Patrick 1 hour before and said, just grab your cap and jacket and let's just do the podcast. So it's you just need to work hard. And if you're not sure what to do, because, okay, let's say you want to be like Patrick, there's nothing stopping you. Just visit his LinkedIn profile and see what he was working, how he started his career, what he studied, where he worked, how he started his career. Whatever he has done it, just follow the footstep, and after 4 years, you will be there. I saw some people, but to be honest, I saw some people 5 years before they were complaining that they do not have opportunity.
Yeah.
Today they are also complaining. But if I ask, what have you gained in these 5 years?
Yeah.
Have you gained any degree, any certification? Have you learned any skill? There's no change. So it's never too late. If you start today, after 5 years, you will be there. I met this guy 3 years before. Just now we shared the story. The continuous learning is the key.
Yes. It
So
is
if
the
you
key.
learn, in 3 years, you will be another level.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So, but I mean, back to you, okay? So why did you choose Ireland? Why of all countries? Why Ireland? Why not UK? Why not
True.
Spain
You love
or
Spain?
Nigeria?
See, I always wanted to study or work in West. So I was just looking for the right time, right opportunity.
Okay.
So this was the thing. But when it comes to West, my concern was to choose the country where I can speak the same language, English. The language barrier is the thing, because if you move to Germany, there's another language. If you move to Denmark, so that was the challenge.
So, but then what route did you use to get to Ireland? What route did you choose?
Yeah, there are several routes. So the first challenge was to choose the English country. So I was end up with two, UK and Ireland. And there are so many routes. And this is the question that so many people ask me on LinkedIn, which route did you choose? So there are many. And one route is not suitable for everybody.
Yeah.
You can go there on a study visa. You can maybe find a job. This is the route which I choose. Just find the job. Company will give you the sponsorship. Company will give you the work permit, and then you will be good to go. So there are several routes. Maybe you got directly a work permit or maybe a study visa. It depends.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good. And then you're so far now in the process of quantity surveying. Which university do you recommend? It's a good university.
I studied in Harriet Watt, but it's not like I will say that it's suitable for everybody. Of course, it's one of the best university. I recently graduated, and most of you have seen it, post-graduated.
Yeah.
It's an amazing university. They cover the standard and the highly demand topics, and they cover the standards. But one answer is not fit for everybody. It depends your preference. It depending on your budget, of course, the country that you like, and so many things. So there's not one answer. So many people ask me, which university do you recommend? Maybe you want to prefer the accreditation as well. Is it like RICS,
Yeah.
AIQS,
Yeah,
or
you
maybe
need to
another one?
consider
So
that,
there's
yeah.
so many factors. All depend on your preference. But how do you choose it? So firstly, align all those things, your preference, and make sure the university that offers a degree, it should align with your goal. That's the thing. But you must complete your initial research. Maybe start with Google, that
Yeah.
MSc in Quantity
Yeah.
Surveying, and
Yeah.
then type the country name where you really want it,
I mean,
and then see
yeah.
that.
I did all that. I mean, most people do all that, but then the time you invest in researching.
Just now I got to know, sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
I remember you mentioned last time that you're studying masters, right?
Yeah, yes. I recently started my master's in global BIM management.
Oh, that's nice. So masters in global BIM.
Yeah, management.
Oh, so
Okay.
it's management and
Yeah, global BIM management.
that's nice.
So
Yeah.
well, yeah, the reason why I chose this part is because there's a lot of talk about BIM now going on here, left and right. But I mean, from this course, I've been able to discover that the quantity surveyors are not really involved at the earlier stage of BIM collaboration. It's still the same traditional way where we wait for the design to come and then we prepare our estimates. But we need to be part of that initial exchange of information requirement or employer's information requirement and then the BIM execution plan. No, yeah, we are mentioned, but we are not actively in the process.
Right.
And from this program, I think the angle where this is taking me is how we can see like a BIM-based cost management approach.
Why did you choose BIM, by the way? As a young professional, if I have to do a master, I can go for, as I just did, masters in quantity surveying, masters in BIM, masters in sustainability as well. Why did you choose the BIM, masters in BIM?
I mean, for me, it's more of a futuristic approach for me. The reason why I chose BIM because in my mind, what I'm thinking is we'll get to a point, the quantity surveyor's job will need to evolve
in BIM.
Skills in BIM. And I think we'll get to a point where we'll begin to see terminologies like cost designer.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, all we have is cost estimators, cost consultant. But at some point, we'll, in BIM, I think we'll get to where we see a cost designer whose job is to impute cost data at the earliest stage of BIM process.
Right.
Again, the word is data. Okay, so a lot of benchmarking, a lot of cost analysis will have been carried out for those cost data to be imputed into the BIM stage. So sooner or later, we'll begin to see terminology like cost designer.
That's
interesting. My own, futuristic
it's interesting.
thinking.
I got your point.
Because what that does is, if you're able to impute your cost early on into the design, what that does is that it saves you time. At some point, there will be no need for takeoff anymore.
True. And what are they covering, by the way, in BIM? Is it like maybe you can say management thing, or teach you how to create a model, or maybe another technical skill? What are they covering? Like, if you just give us in a brief.
For Ziggurat Institute of Technology, where I'm running my master's, they're teaching us the holistic approach to global BIM management for any type of project in the world. They are not teaching you how to use the software, okay? So they are only teaching you the BIM processes that are involved in a live project.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, starting from the information that is required, the BIM execution plan, to interoperability of the BIM, the open BIM platform, and the like. So it gives you an overview of what the BIM is all about. And then you, as a professional, can see where you fit in. So currently in my class, I'm the only quantity surveyor.
Oh, really?
So we are over 35 students, and I'm the only QS.
And which university is that?
That's the Ziggurat Institute of Technology, but it's affiliated to University of Barcelona.
Okay, and is it accredited by any?
It's accredited by University of Lifelong Learning of University of Barcelona.
Okay, but I mean RICS or a CIOB or
CIOB. It's currently not accredited by RICS.
But at least you're learning something. That's the thing. This is what I was saying earlier. It's all about your preference. He didn't choose the degree that must be accredited by this or that. It's all about what's your preference. So there's no one standard answer for everybody. So that's nice.
So Saady, how will you describe the difference in working culture between Dublin and Dubai?
Oh, well, it's a lot. It's about the people, I believe. That's the first thing that can influence. It's about people, their approach, their mindset. But overall, it's nice. It depends where you work. It's whatever I share my experience. It's not one for everybody.
Correct,
it depends where you work for contractor, maybe subcontractor or consultant. But in my case, because I work for a multinational company, so they give the value to well-being. They value the employees, so everything. So I think so far it's so good, and this is the place where I always wanted to be.
That's good.
They take care about everything that you need. I cannot mention in front of the camera, but literally everything that you need, the companies are taking care.
Okay, so how can you discuss a kind of like a mentorship experience that influenced your decision in quantity surveying?
There were so many mentors in my life. You were one of them.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
There were many. I always mention the success to key is learning. So wherever I find the knowledge, this is you will find me. So I learn a lot from you. You guide me a lot about quantity surveying because I was working as a quantity surveying in the past. I think it's been 10 years now. I was working, but I was working only on a limited area, and I feel no shame saying openly I was working only on a takeoff. And I believe that's all a quantity survey needs to do. To be honest, that's what I was doing it, and I call myself that time as a quantity surveyor as well. Even that time I was just doing as a takeoff. That's all. And now on my LinkedIn, I have mentioned many times takeoff is not all about quantity surveying. Quantity surveying is a lot more than just a takeoff. So uh, I think now I know after meeting you and few several other people in my university and some people outside. So you always need a mentor. Find it. You will find the people there. So many people. I'm sure they
Yeah,
contact you, and I'm not sure if I'm in a position, but so many people contact me as well and learn from me. And I don't. Uh, I love sharing the knowledge and experience with
yeah,
people. That's what I like it.
yeah, that's
So
very good.
whatever I have gone through, I share with people. So at least they don't struggle. They don't suffer it.
Yeah, I mean, it's good also because if you get knowledge from people who are more experienced from you
Yeah.
than you, it helps build your career and your own
Exactly,
your
exactly. At least you
process.
know the right path. That's the
Yeah,
important. So many people ask me the question like how and what. I mentioned many times what is the most difficult. The moment you know what to do, what you need to learn, what skill is important, you will find a way how. How is easy. Trust me, how is not difficult because first you need to know what you really need. So I know maybe some of people are not able to resonate right now, but you will know later on because I have been going through all of these things. So how is difficult?
yeah.
Oh, how is easy?
Yeah, well,
Hmm.
but also the how and the what, it has to do with the continuous learning. You can't just stop because you're at a certain salary range or maybe you've got your RICS. You have to constantly keep learning. The CPDs, and that's what keeps you going in your career. That's what keeps you moving as a professional. Because, I mean, you can never underestimate learning.
Exactly, exactly.
Because the moment you stop learning, that's the moment you stop growing in your profession. As you recently got the LinkedIn Top Voice badge, do you have any insight for young quantity surveyors who connect with you?
Yeah, there are many inside. I wish I can just finish it in this less time. But yeah, the one important information that I would like to say whenever you connect with somebody, I'm not very famous. I just have few people connected with me. I'm very happy. It's just a family and community. I have like 25,000 people connected with me, and
Yeah,
trust me.
that's like a country. Man, calm down. That's
So
like a country,
it's not like also Instagram and Facebook. When it's 25,000 people, they are really there.
Yeah,
So every day I receive like 50 to 100 messages.
yeah,
Trust me. So usually I do not have time to reply them every day. So I pick a day or weekend or between somewhere, and I believe this is what most of the people are doing it to reply everybody on weekend. So sometimes I received a message and I reply them properly. But most of the I'm coming to your question. But most of the people, what they ask, how are you? Hi Saadi, where are you from?
and
And
and then they wait for the next week
and
before
then
you
they wait for the next week
respond.
because all I can do is
Wow.
to reply on a weekend.
Yeah,
So on the weekend I reply them, I'm good, thanks for asking. Now they may drop another question,
yeah.
but they have
Have
to
to
wait
wait
for
on
another
one
week.
week. Yeah,
So I have mentioned multiple times when you connect with somebody, it's your opportunity. It's
yeah,
one time opportunity. Greeting is good, but when you connect, just drop a short message that hi Saadi, I hope you don't need to of course just send me a message. There's so
just
many
go straight to the
professionals.
point.
Go
Go
straight to
straight to
the
the point.
point.
If you want advice,
Yeah,
ask your question. If you want insight, if you want um, suggestions, just drop it immediately because
exactly.
that person might be busy and might not even have access to his LinkedIn on maybe for the next 2 weeks.
Exactly.
And then you don't want to wait for 2 weeks just to get a fine, I'm okay.
Exactly. I'm
And then you
okay.
wait for another 1 week for your question to be
Exactly.
answered. So
Try
it's
to
good.
keep your the messages very short because it's not email. That's the mistake that most of people done. They write a long. Of course, they don't write. They just maybe use Chat GPT or maybe they
Yeah.
have the template. So try to keep your message short because nobody has the time to read this long questions. So try to keep your question to the point, short, and don't ask the question that's already mentioned on their profile, like where are you from. Do you really want to know? If yes, then check the
Check the
LinkedIn. It's
profile.
already there. And then another suggestion on top of all, don't ask the people on LinkedIn, share your mobile number or email address. The platform is there. You can approach them and you can ask the question directly because it's already a great opportunity. Not everybody is comfortable sharing their mobile number. So LinkedIn is a great platform for all the young professionals because they can learn from experienced people. So use it wisely. That's all I can say as insight.
Okay, Saady, I think this question is supposed to be for me, but I'm going to ask you. So, what's one piece of advice you wish you had received when you started your career as a quantity surveyor? Now you know better, right? You what, 6 months working as a full-time QS? So,
Okay. Well, I was working before as well, but I wasn't ready for this question.
that's okay.
Okay. See, there are so many things, but I think, yeah, I always regret when I read a book. It's not like I'm not able to find something useful, but I regret why I'm reading it late.
Oh, okay.
So that's the one advice or one thing that I want to share with people that read. And I wish somebody have informed me earlier that books are the place where you find all the insight, all the treasure. It's there. If you do not have a time, like me, so I do not have the time mostly to read the book. So I use the audiobooks.
Yeah, that's
The
very good one.
podcasts are available on a YouTube. I wish somebody have informed me this thing earlier. So read the books. So many information and knowledge is there. If you can't read the book, just there are so many devices and so many applications are there that can read for you. Just place your headphone. You're traveling, maybe while you're on a bed. Just gain as much you can, and you will see how it's going to make a difference. You will not see it on the same day tomorrow that you're using this knowledge,
Yeah, it
but
builds
you will
up
see
at
if you
some
see a
point.
person like Patrick or anybody else, how they speak very well, how they share the insights. They have read something that is in their mind. So maybe he has read 100 books. 10% or 20% of the books
Yeah.
are in his mind. The words are there, the knowledge is here,
It
and when
builds
he
up.
explains.
At some point, it makes sense. Everything
Yeah.
connects, you know. Just like my master's program now, it doesn't. There's a lot of things you're studying. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but eventually, I believe it's going to make a lot of.
Okay, let me ask another question, Patrick.
Yep.
You are already chartered RICS.
Yes.
What's the next milestone, or you believe this is the final? This is what you always wanted? Because as a young professional, if all the young professionals who are following you or who want to be a chartered QS, should we consider that this is the final stage, or that's all I have to achieve in a life as a quantity surveyor?
No, absolutely not. I mean, I've got a career to build, okay, and the RICS badge is going to give me that leverage to be able to, build my career professionally, globally, and then, enjoy the network. So that's not the end for me. I mean, for me, I think that's just the beginning.
So what's the next then?
Presently, the next step is to complete my master's in
Okay.
global BIM management, and then I want to really focus on the BIM-based cost management approach. That's my desire. That's where I want to see where my career can take me. It's a field which I'm not sure, not a lot has been done, but I'm trying to see how we can carve out a niche for a cost designer.
Just extending the question, we were talking about RICS and if it's the final milestone. So many people are already in the same process, following the same pathway, and they are not very motivated, or maybe they are a little bit nervous how it's going to be. So I would like to ask a question. Are you able to recall few of your final assessment APC questions, and how was your experience in it? And why I'm asking this question, because he recently became a chartered
Yeah,
RICS
that's right,
QS,
that's right.
and there was a panel of people. There were few people who asked the questions, and that decide your charteredship, and result comes after several days. So how was your experience, and are you able to recall any of the question?
Well, now, honestly, I can't remember much of the questions, but I can remember the atmosphere that day. It was tense, but then it was, well, it was the hottest 1 hour of my life. Yeah, but it was cool in the sense that, I mean, I had the kind of confidence that if I'm able to articulate my words properly and then defend my case study the right way, yeah, I think I had a shot at passing. So
I think this is the main thing. So to interrupt you once again, as it's a casual talk, and I
Yeah.
don't mind interrupting him multiple times. He's
I know.
friend to me. So
I know.
and I think it's all about your how you can defend the thing.
Yeah.
That's the main important thing as per my experience. So as long you can defend your answer, it's fine. You must be confident. So as long that's but
And
are you able to recall any question, Patrick? Any question? Give some insights to the people.
okay, I can remember one question. So I was asked, I will ask you this question. I think it's better. So you're curious, so I'm going to ask you.
Can we
So
cut this?
no, I'm going to
Okay.
ask you this one. I
Okay.
remember this one. I think you should be able to answer this one. So for example, right, there's a project at the early design stage. You don't
Okay.
have enough information to
Okay.
derive quantification. How will you give a cost estimate for that kind of project?
Okay, Mr. Examiner. So at the early stage, usually we do not have a. It depends how early it is. So if you do not have the
Let's say
enough
at
information,
Pre-concept stage. Yeah.
okay. So you don't have the enough information. So you use some benchmarking. It could be the existing project benchmarking, or you use some standard. Let's say if it's a hospital project,
Yeah, that's
Mr.
my case
Examiner,
study.
you. Oh,
That was
really?
my case study, hospital
Oh,
project.
great.
Yeah.
So it could be a school, it could be a hospital,
Yeah.
it could be a jail, or it could be anything. So imagine if it's a hospital. So I'll see how many numbers of beds are required, and that one bed, I'll just see the other benchmark and I'll just use those references. But of course, you have to consider on top of all the inflation.
Correct.
You have to consider some risk factor. You have to consider some contingency, all the abnormal costs,
Location factor
and also the
and all
location
those
factor,
things.
because
Yeah.
maybe you're considering the project, all the benchmarking from out of the city, and other one is between the
Yeah.
city. So many factors. How are you going to bring the material and all that?
That's good.
Am I able to pass?
I mean, man, you've passed already, man. You should become an RICS member right now.
Okay, great.
No, that's a fantastic answer. I mean, also including cost per square meter, which is what you
Exactly,
mentioned.
exactly.
Also, and cost per unit, which is functional unit, which is what you've mentioned. So that's spot on, man. That's one good question. All right.
So I think that kind of question are being asked in the APC final assessment.
Yeah,
right?
but then again, it's how you articulate your answers, how you're able to just go straight to the point and hit the nail on the head, and then move on to the next question. Okay, give the examiners enough room to be able to assess you and be sure that you've covered competencies for level 1, level 2, and level 3. So that's just it.
Okay, Patrick.
Yep.
See, last week I mentioned on my social media that we are going to record this podcast. I wasn't sure that time, the specific time, but I uploaded a post in advance.
Yeah.
So let me open my LinkedIn, because I know most of the people who are watching this podcast, they are waiting for their questions to be covered. So I'm opening a LinkedIn right now.
Okay.
Let me ask you these questions just to value those people,
Okay.
because I'm sure they have watched the previous podcast. So one by one, I'm going to ask these questions.
All right.
Current industry trends, Patrick.
We are in the UAE or in Ireland?
Okay, let's cover both.
Okay, so you go first, Ireland. Irishman. I come from the Emirati perspective.
Can you stop saying that? Okay, so I think sustainability is the top trend, and I believe it will be the same here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing which is not a trend, but just now I'm able to recall, are you following or maybe considering archaeology in Dubai?
To the best of my knowledge, I'm not sure, but I believe on every construction site, once some kind of artifacts or some kind of treasures are found under the ground,
Are
construction
you
ceases.
ever able to find any treasure in this land?
I haven't worked on any project, but
Okay.
the ideal situation is when the contractor is on site and excavation works are being carried out, either for any kind of construction project, and they find something in the ground that's of value.
True.
Okay, the construction needs to stop.
Exactly
And
the
then-
same thing.
yeah.
And this thing is influenced a lot in that region.
Yeah.
Maybe not here, but in that region, it influences a lot. It's not a trend. I understand the question, but I mean, as this question is carried out, so this factor influence a lot the construction, because it can delay the construction. It
correct.
can increase the budget, or it could be anything. So it depends. So
Yeah.
archaeology plays a factor. So there is another question, Patrick, and it's platform for job hunting. Again, this person didn't mention the location, if his concern is Dublin, Ireland, or Dubai, UAE. So let's cover both. Let me answer this question because I work in both
Yeah.
location. I will ask you the next question.
The expert.
So here, uh, In
Online jobs.
in UAE, Indeed is the top platform. Then Dubizel and jobs.ie is also here, and the same jobs.ie work in Ireland as well. So these are the platform. Then in Ireland, jobs.ie is the top one,
Yeah.
but LinkedIn really work in both
Well,
places.
yeah.
LinkedIn is the top platform to find the job either in Dubai or in Dublin. And another platform that I have mentioned in my previous podcast as well, it's a company website. So companies always prefer to hire people who
Yeah.
apply there. And this is what I did. I
Yeah.
wasn't any different in terms of applying or job hunting. I simply visit the website of a company and I drop my resume and then they just approach me.
Yeah.
So I think companies portal, LinkedIn, and do some Google research. You will find many platforms, but these are the top one. Let me ask you the next question.
Yeah.
Please raise the question of scope of work before deep diving into the details of measurement.
So I don't really understand the question, but I think what the person might be trying to say is before you start measurements, what are the things you need to consider?
Okay.
Okay, so you definitely need to have like a takeoff list. Okay, so what's the scope? What are you looking at? Are you looking at the measurement for a new construction, or are you looking at measurement for a refurbishment? Okay, so if let's say for example is a refurbishment, okay, or a renovation, you will need to look at the scope that's involved. Okay, so you want to look at is there a need for demolition first? Of course, if it's a renovation, you need to remove the existing finishes or the existing structure or whatever the case may be. So you have to have a takeoff list. So that list will define your scope as to what you might need to measure for or make an allowance for. Okay, so
Okay. There's another question, Saadi. What is your approach when you um, start the project? Well, it's for me. So see, it depends project to project and which stage and what task and what activities are required. For me, whenever I start a project, I have my own checklist. You can call it template, you can call it anything else, but
yeah,
I have my own checklist of each task. So let's say task of measurement, task of cost planning, task of anything else. So I have my checklist and I keep on updating those checklists. So what happens next time, maybe after 2 or 3 months, if I'm starting the same project or same activity, I just look at the checklist. It's not like I remember everything. To be honest, I'm not having that good memory. So just look at the checklist and I see, am I starting in the same manner? Am I going to cover all the initial process? Am I giving the right folder name and right document and all the updated information? So I just make sure I follow this one. And if you do not have a checklist, start creating today. After 6 months, you will have your own templates. So that's
yeah,
that's
that's
my way of working, and I will advise this to all young professionals. And there's nothing to share. Everybody has their own. I don't want to see this comment saying that. Can you share those templates?
no.
It
You have to
depends.
build it up. You know,
Yeah.
each for me, for as a quantity surveyor coming from my university, I had templates when I was in school, BOQ templates, cost plan templates, even measurement templates on Excel.
And you know the beauty of building your own template is you are able to understand any other template, plus you are
Also,
able to customize others.
also you're able to understand the thought process,
Exactly.
which is
Once you
key.
understand the thought process, tomorrow you work in another company and that company are using another template. You are able to understand because you have created once.
Yeah,
We understand initially it's difficult,
yeah,
but that's the way. That's all we have done.
yeah,
And just
correct.
matter of few weeks, should I say, or months.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, another question, Patrick.
Yep.
What are the limitation of having? And by the way, those questions that I'm reading right now, these were the comments that few of you have made it on my LinkedIn post. So you see, I give value to the people whoever
Yeah, that's
reply
cool.
to. Imagine if somebody drop, "Hi, Saadi, how are you?" So, what are the limitation of having a little experience as a fresh graduate in QS and the ways to be experienced in a profession?
As a fresh graduate,
Yep.
I mean, from my perspective, I don't think there's a limitation for a fresh graduate. I think we are talking about potential here. I mean, at the beginning of a race, let's say, imagine at the beginning of a 100-meter race or 100-meter run, there is no limitation. You're looking at potential. How far can you go? How much are you willing to learn? How interested or how involved are you in this process? So you're thinking about your potential. You're thinking of how you can grow your career. So I don't think it's a matter of limitation. It's a matter of hunger. the
How
volume,
much you want.
how much you want.
Exactly.
Okay, because it's like it's an open field. No, the sky is it's a limit, all right? So you can do whatever you want to do. Okay, but you just that hunger, that drive, that motivation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There is another question. How do I get job as a freelancer in QS? What must I do to prepare myself for the job opportunity? Let me answer this question. There's so many platforms to work as a freelancer. It's not just the platform. There are other ways as well. But the top platforms are in Upwork, Freelancer, Guru, and Fiverr, and there are many other. These are just the platform where the opportunities are already there, but it's not limited. LinkedIn is there, where that can be a game changer. So work on yourself, as you mentioned that as a graduate or as a junior. So work on your profile, build your profile on LinkedIn, try to upload on daily activities, show people that you're working on daily basis, you are growing. So when you build your profile, that's what you're going to share with your clients, that I am capable of doing this, and you will find the right opportunities. There are so many opportunities, trust me. Sometimes I find the people are not there. Let me just mention this question. I'm not sure if it's coming here. Okay, there's another question. Platform or what skills are in demand in Ireland? Let me cover this question because anyways I was coming there.
Yeah.
In Ireland, quantity surveyors are highly in demand. Companies are looking for the quantity surveyor. Trust me, on weekly basis, I'll not say daily basis, every week I receive a message from HR, maybe one or twice, that are you interested working with us? Usually people prepare the messages hi for the HR.
Yeah.
In my case, I prepare the message that I'm already working right now. I appreciate the opportunity.
So you have a template for reply.
I have a template because I don't want to ignore these people.
Yeah,
if
that's
they
right.
approach me, I should respect and I should value them.
Correct, that's
So I
true.
have prepared a message that I cannot type on daily basis, and I just mentioned I appreciate the opportunity and I reply them. But maybe in future I can consider you. So there are that many opportunities.
Yeah.
They are continuously looking for that. So if you are qualified, if you are skilled, companies will look for you. You don't need to look,
Yeah,
but work on
absolutely.
yourself. So let me ask another question. How AI can impact quantity estimation?
Wow. AI is a big topic.
Yeah, it seems trending.
Especially, yeah, it's a big topic, especially in my class, my fellow master's class. We discussed on AI at the beginning, and most people, because again, I'm the only QS in the class, right? I work with others are architects or cost designers, or many of them, designers, architects, beam coordinators, and the likes. So, I mean, one of the underlining key points that we picked up from that discussion was that AI will only help in tasks that are repetitive. Okay, in terms of measurement, hopefully AI can help in terms of measuring areas, like basic areas, shapes. Okay, repetitive tasks. That's what AI
True.
now.
Smart work instead of hard work.
Yeah, so that's what we are looking at currently. But I believe it's going to go more than that, because
Exactly.
what's this AI? This AI is what is it now? It's what we program into it.
Yeah.
I say, do this, do this, do
Yeah.
this when you see this option. When you see this option, don't do this.
Yeah.
So I think the moment we become more sophisticated in our programming skills,
Exactly.
in our, what kind of data we input
Exactly.
into
And
a
it's kind
certain
of the
software.
template that we were just talking about.
Yeah.
If you prepare, and I believe people nowadays talk about more AI or show more concern after the chat GPT. But trust me, chat GPT is not all about AI. And AI was there. If you talk about the software like PlanSwift or CostX, what you do, there are so many features. When you click, it automatically select the area and give you the result instead of you measure the
Absolutely.
length and width and
Yeah,
manual
absolutely.
stuff. So AI was already there from many years.
Yeah.
It's just now people show concern after the chat GPT that went viral.
Yeah.
So I think it's playing a vital role in construction industry,
Yes,
especially in
it
quantity
is.
surveying.
It is, especially with the amount of softwares and technology we have out there.
It's a funny story. I remember, I will not mention the company. I was working for a subcontractor, and that time there was no software, or at least they do not have the software to measure. So I always need to print the pages, and the challenge was the printer can print only A3. How am I supposed to measure from the bigger drawing? You know what I did that time? I print two drawings, half, and then I had the tape. So I use the tape and then I convert the A3 into A2
Oh my
and even
God.
sometime into A0 as well.
That's
So it
that's
was so
amazing.
challenging because he was not able to buy the
The
new
software,
printer
yes.
and the software as well.
Yeah.
So that was the time when I had some colors. But imagine if I use the red color for sprinkler or for upright, what I'm going to use for fire alarm, firefighting, and emergency and all that. I'm
Rainbow.
out of the colors,
Yeah, you get
right?
rainbow, you get more
And then,
colors.
then I'm just joining two colors and making a new one. It
Yeah,
was so funny. I still have a pictures on my Instagram
yeah,
and LinkedIn. I share multiple times. So that was very challenging.
yeah,
So AI is the one that is playing a vital role. Then you have the software and everything is, and especially I'm working. You asked me in the beginning the environment. So as I said, it wasn't a prepared podcast. So whenever
yeah,
I'm ready for something, so there we are allowed to work remotely. We can work from home. We can work from anywhere as long you are able to give your best. You are able to fulfill your duties and
yeah,
tasks. Doesn't matter from where you work. So this is one of the plus point working and difference between the environment there.
yeah.
So imagine if I do not have the software, I do not have the AI. How am I supposed to work remotely from home? I cannot carry all the pages and sometime working from cafe, sometime working from home and office. It's not easy. So AI change our way of working,
Yeah.
work smartly.
And I think it will only become better from here. And quantity surveyors need to position themselves to
Yeah,
uh,
and it's not
benefit.
going to replace the quantity. So
No,
that's the
absolutely not.
misconception that people has. It's to work parallelly with
It will
you.
make you a better QS
Exactly.
from what one of my senior colleagues once said. You
Yeah.
know, if you're able to use technology to make yourself a better QS, that's what I keep telling people. You can become a great QS, even far better than many people if you embrace technology, embrace
Exactly.
softwares, embrace the whole process of um, uh, integration, data management.
Exactly. And to achieve the client's objective, value, cost, you can do that. So AI just there to help us.
Yeah.
We are about to end. So let's have another question. How to meet construction deadline? I think AI is one of them, but how would you like to answer this question?
How to meet construction deadline?
Yeah,
Well, you have to follow the program of work. You have to stick to the program of work. So if it's on site post contract, okay, and there's a deadline for construction, you have to ensure as a quantity surveyor, I don't know, maybe he's asking the question from perspective of quantity surveyor or from the perspective of a contractor, but as a QS working for the contractor, you need to ensure that or the project manager, they need to ensure that they follow the program of work. They do carry out the um,
and I think it's selection of procurement strategies, selection of contract. All things matters to
yeah,
help you succeed meeting the
yeah,
deadline.
yeah.
So all of these things matter. Or maybe a point a good quantity survey. I think that
No, but to meet the deadline, you need to ensure you abide strictly by the program that has been agreed upon by
exactly.
all parties, and ensure that if there's going to be a delay from anybody or from any of the subcontractors, that delay is identified immediately, early enough, so that we make provision for that. Okay,
Exactly.
and then we make either financial
So
provisions or who's going to take
are
the
you saying
risk.
proper risk register?
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So who's going to take the risk? Okay. So that's how to meet the deadline, you need to ensure that you keep a good track record of all the risks that's
Exactly.
involved and ensure that everybody sticks to the program
Yeah.
strictly.
Because risk you have to assign the proper responsibility as
Yeah.
well.
Because within your risk register, there you begin to see early warnings that may deter or that may cause delay in.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, there is another question and it's for me. Hi Saadi, kindly suggest the current market in Ireland. So
What kind of market is he talking of? Construction industry?
well, that's what I was saying. So whenever you connect with somebody, write the detail. But anyways, we believe it's quantity
Yeah, of
surveying
course,
because that's
construction.
what
Yeah.
we cover mostly. So I think quantity survey are highly in demand. As I have mentioned earlier, uh, there are so many projects right now. Of course, it's not comparison to Dubai, but of course, they need a skilled people.
Yeah.
That's why I was there as well, and they need hundred and thousands of more people.
Yeah.
Whenever I look for their websites, they need people.
But in terms of the project in Ireland and UAE, I mean, what do you see in terms of the scale, the complexity of these projects?
They have their own challenges. It's not Haida is always there, but they have their own kind of challenges. As I just mentioned, archaeology. It's one of the biggest challenge there. Okay, Patrick. There is another question. Bill of quantities, this is how it begins. Bill of quantity, when should they be commissioned? Who should prepare them? Advantages, disadvantages, risk and benefit. The question is very long, but would you and also mention who take the risk in the quantities?
So first of all, I think we need to understand what the BOQ is used for, right? So it's pretty much what becomes part of your contract, and it's what you use to get tenders. Okay, we used to get your tender returns from the contractor. So it's a contract document, all right? So the advantages are, of course, are so glaring because you want a standard method of pricing and quantification, okay, that's agreed by all parties, okay, and then it gives you a list of items you have in your, in your project, and then gives you the cost, the descriptions, the quality that is involved, and then you have the rate, you have the amount per, per square meter or per whatever the case may be. So those are the advantages. Then, but disadvantage could be a poorly constructed BOQ could lead to claims in the long run, if not disputes in the project. So, a BOQ that has not been checked for arithmetic errors could also lead to claims and most likely, disputes too. So those are basic disadvantages. And then who takes responsibility? So ideally, or who prepares the BOQ is usually the quantity surveyor, right? We all know that.
Yeah.
Or the cost consultants, okay? They are the ones who prepare the BOQ. And then once the contract is signed, of course, the contractors also have responsibility of checking the BOQ, depending on the procurement route now, okay? So if it's a traditional method where the BOQ has been prepared by the client QS, the contractor has the responsibility of checking those quantities during his tendering, okay, to ensure that the quantities, because while he's tendering, he's got the design information and then he's got the BOQ. So while he's pricing the BOQ, he needs to check the information on the drawing that it matches, okay? Because the moment he signs the contract, he's taking responsibility of the prepared BOQ, okay, and he takes responsibility of the quantities.
Right.
Okay, so again, depending on the procurement route and the payment mechanism.
Right.
So if it's a lump sum, and then of course he has assumed that what he has signed, okay, what he has agreed to, he has to carry out that job,
Right.
even if there's a big difference in quantity.
So there's another question, quick question. Why we do not mention I and O while preparing a BOQ?
Because I don't think there's any. Well, from my own experience, I think it's because I looks like 1 and
True.
O looks like 0. Okay, so that's all I know. I don't think there's any term rule
Any other logic?
any other logic to it.
There's another question, Saady. Which rules of measurement do you follow in Ireland? So it's not like one only, but the commonly being used is ARM4, Agreed Rules of Measurement. But of course, there's one standard that is very common in specific region. But it's not so difficult. This is just a different standards, different rules. But at the end, if you, as we were talking earlier, if you understand one rule, if you're able to read them, if you're able to follow them, it's easy to adopt the next one.
Yeah, so the just to add to what you've said, the ARM is like the POMI version of the UAE.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you go to Ireland, don't expect to see POMI. Expect to see ARM.
Exactly.
So like that, that's how it is. So the POMI version of Ireland, that's the one.
I think that's all the question that people dropped on my LinkedIn. So that's all for today. Thank you so much, everyone, for being with us. And hopefully, if you keep showing us support, your love, your respect, so hopefully we will have more podcasts in future. As we mentioned, it wasn't planned, it wasn't prepared in detail. I just follow some of the questions that were being dropped on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So hopefully, this is what I like to do. I like to share my knowledge and experience, and I requested Patrick to just come with me, and luckily he agreed. So that's all. Thank you so much, everyone, for
Thanks,
listening
everyone.
us.
Thank you. Thanks, Saady.
So see you in the next
as
video.
usual.
Have a good day. Take care.
Bye-bye.